Hey there, we are working on guidance practice 8 today. This is section 2.6 on inequalities. So we're going to go ahead and be solving our inequalities. And remember, the important things to remember here is that if we multiply or divide by a negative number, we have to flip our inequalities, okay, by any negative quantity. So in this particular case, for number one, we're trying to solve for this x right here. Right here. So I want to get rid of things around it. So I want to get rid of that 3 on the bottom first. So I'm going to go ahead and multiply everything by 3. So that is in all three places. So negative 2 times 3 is negative 6, less than. The 3's will cancel in the middle, and I will have 4x plus 1, less than or equal to 0 times 3 is 0. Now, I did not flip the inequality symbols here because my 3 is positive, and I only flip if it's negative. Now, next, I want to get rid of that plus 1 because I want that x in the middle by itself. So we are going to go ahead and subtract 1 on all three sides, right? Whatever we do to one side, we do to all sides. So that gives us a negative 7, less than 4x, less than or equal to negative 1. From here, now the only thing stopping me from having my x by itself is this 4 out front. So we're going to go ahead and divide everything by 4. Actually, let's do it this way. Divide everybody by 4. And that means I'm taking each piece and dividing it by 4. So that's negative 7 over 4. Less than, the 4's cancel in the middle, and I get x. Less than or equal to negative 1 over 4. And that's my final answer because I've got my x by itself in the middle. Now, what I want to do next is I want to graph this solution. So I'm going to graph myself a number line. And all I'm going to do is put those two numbers on there, and they are in order left to right. So negative 7/4 is more negative than negative 1/4. If you convert that, that's negative 1 3/4 for your negative 7/4. And then I'm going to graph it. So I am going to use an open circle at negative 7 over 4. And that's because it's or equal to at negative 7 over 4. And at negative 1 over 4, that's it's not, or sorry, scratch that. At negative 7 over 4, it is less than, does not say or equal to. So I get an open circle. At negative 1 over 4, I do have an or equal to. So I get a closed circle because that means it could be equal to negative 1/4. And then my x is between them, so my graph is all the space on my line between those two things. Okay, so that is my solution for number one. Number two. Now, I don't have three pieces here. I only have two. I have a left side and a right side, but I've got all kinds of parentheses. And whenever I see parentheses, parentheses means distribute. So that's what I'm going to do first before I do anything else. So on the left, I'm going to distribute that 2x. On the right, I'm going to have to FOIL. So you're going to go first, outside, inside, and last. So if we do that on the left, 2x times 6x gives us 12x squared, plus 2x times 5 is 10x, less than. Over here on the right, for that first, the 3x times the 4x gives me a 12x squared. On the outside, your O for FOIL, that's your 3x times the 1, so that's plus 3x. Your inside is the negative 2 times the 4x, so that's negative 8x. And your last is the negative 2 times 1, and that's negative 2. Now you can see here that once I've done that, these two terms are like terms, so I can combine those together. And notice also that I have a 12x squared on both sides, so I'm going to go ahead and subtract 12x squared from both sides. So in this step, I'm going to subtract 12x squared. Those are going to cancel. And then I'm going to combine what's on the left. So I'm going to have a 10x here on the left, and the 3x minus 8x is negative 5x minus 2. Okay, from here, I'm trying to solve for x. So I'm going to collect them on one side of the inequality. So I'm going to add 5x to both sides. And that's going to leave me with 15x is less than negative 2. And then the last thing to get my x by itself is divide both sides by 15. And that's going to leave me with x is less than negative 2 over 15. And that's my answer. Okay. Now I do want to go ahead and graph this. So I'm going to start with my number line. I only have one number to put on my graph, so I'm going to put in the middle. Why not? If you want to, you can set this up like a traditional number line, right? Like put your 0 in the middle and then figure out where -2/15 would be. But you can also just plop that guy right there in the middle. And then we're using an open circle here because there is no or equal to, it's just less than. So open circle. And if my x is on the left, my inequality symbol right here points in the direction that my arrow is going to go. And so it's pointing to the left. It's less than everything that is less than is to the left. Oh, and so we want everything to the left of -2/15. And that's our number 2. All right. Now I am going to show you these. I'm not going to test you on absolute value inequalities, just as a heads up. But I am going to go ahead and show you how you would do this. Okay. So what happens here is because of the, first of all, we are going to solve for the inequality for the absolute value. Notice we have the absolute value of 6x minus 5. I want to move things around until all I have is that on one side. Conveniently for us, this is already set up that way. So we are ready to go ahead and figure out what does this mean? Well, what absolute value means is what's in the absolute value could already be positive. Okay. If it's already positive, then I can just drop the absolute value because the absolute value doesn't do anything, right? The absolute value makes whatever's inside positive. If it's already positive inside, then it doesn't do anything. So we can just drop it. So 6x minus 5 less than or equal to -2. Okay, so that's one part that we're going to solve. We're going to do this in a second. But it's also possible that what's in that absolute value is negative.